Okay, I think I'm gonna get this rolling. I wanted to say thank you for coming, and I want to introduce Adrian Harpham. Adrian is an amazing human, and he co-produced the album and brought the ideas forth. Rich Lamb and I started the album together. Rich Lamb is an amazing engineer extraordinaire, and we started this project together, and Adrian came on board later, and he steered the ship and guided it, and it was released on Adrian's label, ModernIcon / Ropeadope Records. So I'm very grateful to these two, and so thank you for being here again, and we're going to listen to side 2. So we pressed vinyl. Sorry, I have to show it. So we pressed vinyl. You could see it. So that was exciting. So the theme of this is, we did side 1 3 weeks ago. I wanted to do it last March 1st, but that was Biden's State of the Union and the world was total insanity. So here we are on March 8th, and it's International Women's Day. Who would have thunk? So that's kind of cool. So now today is side 2. I really hope that you have turntables in your house at some point in your life, because we got ours up and running, and it's been really a great thing. And I know a lot of people are getting into it again. And so, but anyway, but the album is available everywhere, and we're going to play it off of Spotify today. So
and we all mute, right? When you start, we have
okay, thank you.
Right?
Yeah. Can everyone see the Spotify, or am I just, is this being seen or not? The Spotify.
See the gang.
You see the gang. Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to try and share screen like this.
Yeah,
My brother's on. Yeah, here we go. And it's in stereo, and I'm sharing it. All right, we got this going?
Yep.
Okay. So this first song on side 2 is called Missing You. And it was actually the first single that was released off the album. I'm not going to speak anymore. This is Missing You.
Your great big heart was filled with kindness, and every time I see your face, I look to you to make me better, to show me the way. Selfishness fills the canvas, pettiness builds the frame, the picture hangs in the gallery, where fear and hate remain. children and your faith. I look to you to make me better, to show me the way. Oh, to show me the way. Oh, I'm missing you. You won't be coming round here anymore. I'm missing you. I wanna close my eyes to what's in store. I'm missing you. Open my heart, don't let me close the door. Let me feel there's something good. Let your love come shining through. Your great big hearts were filled with kindness. Your lives were taken with great haste. We look to you to make us better, to show us the way. Oh, to show us the way. 'Cause we're missing you.
Whew. Yeah, so that one was written for my friend Calvin Gooding, who passed away in 9/11.
Oh.
Yeah, we went to he went to Packer, where I went to high school, and he worked for Cantor Fitzgerald, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and his wife is actually LaChanze, who is the Broadway actress. And when at 9/11, he had two young daughters, and one of them is Celia Gooding, and she just starred in, Maggie and I just went and saw her, she just starred in Jagged Little Pill. So it's just amazing that his progeny is
Hmm.
doing all that. And he was a really special human. Yeah. So I wanted to tell you about that. And it's just sort of just a 9/11. It starts about him and then it sort of ends about everybody, like the whole thing.
The plural last verse, yeah.
Yeah. So that was Missing You. And Adrian really brought that one. He took it and I was like, let's have a rock anthem. And he just crafted that. And it really
Well,
brought it
it was
alive.
all about Robin coming in.
Robin McAtenge, the guitar player.
Yeah, because we got all the additional those essential other colors besides the trio out of Robin in one night.
Hmm.
And those just like Brian May type guitars, scorching leads that add all that drama. And
Yeah.
the way the acoustics interacting with the piano, and
Hmm.
that one just did itself. I think it handled itself on some sort of level,
Yeah. Anybody have anything to say, or shall we just move right along?
I have a question.
Super lovely.
Yes.
When you listen to one of these songs, now that it's all finished and it's out there in the world, what do you listen to? Are you listening to your voice? Are you listening to the mix? Are you listening to the chords? Like, I'm so curious what you hear.
I think I'm hearing everything. Yeah, I think I'm hearing
Okay.
the overall thing. I think and I'm hoping that it's really the feeling that it's giving people. I think some people really hone in on lyrics and some hone in on music and some I was never like a honing in on lyrics person. I think I come from that Elton John school of lyrics where like, you know, it's kind of a color. So I think for this one, I'm feeling the intensity of it. I think that's what I'm feeling, an overall feeling. What about you, Melody? What do you feel?
I mean, I loved the mix of. I thought it sounded beautiful, but if I was singing, I would basically only be listening to the voice. Like
Right,
that's the
because
thing.
you're a
So I
singer.
mean, yeah. So when it's my music, it is different than when it's say your music. I loved where your voice sat in the mix. I love how it built, how the song built throughout. You know, to something that was just so complex, a tapestry near the end. But I know if it were my song, I'd really just be listening to the voice. Like that's why I asked.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
So
So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yay. Yes,
Yeah.
Charlotte.
That song makes me so sad. Like, I've always been really amazed that people can listen to songs in a different language and just know what the lyrics say because the music communicates it. And this is probably a really stupid question for people who are musicians here, but how do you make this song sound so sad? Is it a particular chord progression in this case, and what particular chord progression are you using that makes me want to cry when I listen to it?
Hmm.
Wow. I'm not answering that one. Rich.
I don't think it's the chord progression. I think it's the depth of the vocal. It's the meaning behind the vocal.
I think it's a bunch of things.
Hmm.
The song is slow,
Yeah.
chords are somber, the sounds are all long and evocative. Everything is like,
Sure.
you know, it's all really somber and moody and like clouds and kind of, you know, puts you in a place. And it's all in response to the vocal, of course.
No doubt.
That's true. When you have all that, the chords can be generic, just major stuff. But they're not necessarily sad or different.
Yeah, if they could be C, G, D, you know, D,
Right.
A, whatever,
Right.
triads, but played in a very somber way. You get anybody to respond a certain way. Your intention comes through, you know.
Yeah, they're all major chords, which is a funny thing, and
Yeah.
which you would think minor chords would elicit
Yeah.
more emotion. Yeah, there's an E minor in there, but
Yeah.
that's
I'm
very.
sure the arrangement is part of it. Yeah.
I'm glad that you feel that way, because that's, well, I think when the intention behind it, when I wrote it, was very sad. So that means a lot that it gets across.
Yeah. The phrasing and the voice is like a yearning, you know, kind of questioning, yearning.
Oh yeah, that second chorus has a line that was sort of ad-libbed. Remember that when you were just gunning it? Yes, you. It was like a half voice, half answer. Keep that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some, you know, but I'm assuming when you say it makes you sad, that it's almost like a beautiful melancholia, kind of like you tap into a sadness that's like, maybe it's not bad, but like it's
That's a feeling. Yeah.
that's directed at Charlotte.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I would not be able to listen to that song. Like I cannot even tell you what the lyrics say, because I was so impressed. I remember being at school, and there was someone who was a music student on my floor, and I played a Chinese song for her, and you know, she didn't know a word of Chinese, but she could immediately tell me what the song was about. So that's when I learned, you know, it's the melody and the maybe the voice, like you're saying, that communicates words. I cannot tell you what the lyrics said, but I can tell you it makes me very sad, and I cannot listen to that song, you know, unless I'm feeling sad and I want to feel sad. It's just so sad, which is really powerful, but it doesn't mean I have to listen to Debbie's happy songs.
I don't think any of them are happy. Which is a perfect seg into the next one. So why don't we move on?
Hang in there, Sherilyn.
Yeah, to Waiting. Because Waiting features Tom Garner on guitar and Donnie McCaslin on saxophone. So I just wanted to shout out to them. And shall we?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I know you are waiting for me to take a stand, for me to respond to the gift of your hand. I'm afraid to let you down. My courage fails me. I know you are waiting for me to hold your hand, to make things better, to go with the original plan. I'm afraid to let you down. My courage fails me. I'm a coward. I don't want to see. I don't want to know how you are feeling when I say no. I'm afraid to see. I'm afraid to know how you are feeling when I say no. When I say no. When I say no. When I say no. I know you are waiting. I know it's up to me. How can you be so clear with all our history? I'm afraid to let you down. My courage fails me. I'm a coward. I don't want to see. I don't want to know how you are feeling when I say no. I'm afraid to see. I'm afraid to know how
Hmm. Yay.
I'd like to say something.
Yes.
Well, in addition to being a beautiful song, the production by Adrian and Rich is flawless. It sounds like a major label, spent $100,000 on the production.
Hmm.
So
Sorry, I'm muting.
beautiful,
Thank
beautiful
you.
work, guys.
Thank you.
And the question then I have to ask is, is this a pandemic record? Did you make it during the pandemic?
That's a great question. And I'll answer because we started, Rich and I went in 2018 into the Bunker studio with me on piano and vocals, with Brian Blade on the drums and Christopher Thomas on the bass. And we did 12 songs in 2 days. And then I let it lie, as I'm wont to do, because my last album was 14 years ago. So I was like, I'm in no rush here. And then I worked with Rich for like a year. For a year, we were picking takes, and I was doing lead vocals. And then we were looking at each other like, we need
Piano.
something. We need and piano. We did some piano
Alex.
and we did. Thank you. We did some percussion. We added a lot of percussion with Alex Alexander, who's amazing. And then we looked at each other and said, okay. We bumped into Adrian. Well, I played a gig with Adrian. And at Riverside Park, and we got to talking, and I've worked with Adrian. Adrian was, we were playing together since we were at Berklee College of Music. We know each other really well. And I don't know, he just sort of like, let me take a crack at it. Let me produce a track. And the first track he did produce was Label Love, which is the next one. He's like, let's bring some strings. And well, actually strings came later, but he's like, let's bring some guitar, let's do some stuff. And it was just fun to have another person with amazing ideas to sort of bring things in. So we did a bunch of adding stuff before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened. And then we did a bunch, we didn't do anything like everyone, we just let it lie. And then we got rolling again and added guitars, added strings remotely in people's remote studios. And then Adrian's like, let's put it out on my label. So then all of a sudden the label was like, well, you got to get it done by this date. And we had a deadline. So we had to like really delve in, and all the mixing and adding Donnie McCaslin, it was all done remotely. Okay, that's the long answer.
Yeah, on this song, the sax stuff was added during the pandemic.
Right.
And maybe we did some vocals, maybe some additional vocals. Can't remember.
Yes.
But
But
all
when
the
you were
other stuff was pre-pandemic. Yeah.
Mhm.
when you were recording the original tracks, you were in the same room together.
Yeah.
Right, at the
Yeah.
Bunker studio in Brooklyn, New York.
And was it at Adrian's or was it at Rich's?
That was the Bunker.
Yeah,
That's yours, Adrian?
No, that's not neither of our studios. It's
Oh, so that's like a professional studio. Okay.
but the guitar was done in my home studio in Manhattan. All those guitars were done there, and then the sound design kind of stuff was done in my studio here in my house. So, and then the sax, Donnie's sax, was done at the Bunker remotely during the pandemic, where we were all looking at each other through.
Yeah. That was my first, yeah. Debbie's vocals and the percussion session, that was all in my living room. And we started mixing it over remotely too, over Zoom, the three of us. And then we got together in person, which made it much easier.
Yeah.
and then there was that opening in the fall when it was released, and we had live performances, and then Omicron, and now here we are together online listening.
Omicron wanted to be in the band, but we were like, no, man, all the mess you've caused,
Mm.
Yeah, but I've been.
It's hard keeping track of the last 2 years because it came, it went, we got to do this, it opened, then it closed. And then,
Yeah. Well, now I
Can
want to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hi.
Well, hi. I see Julie Mack has her hand raised, but her mic is off. But I also wanted to say something. So
Go for
anyway.
it, Louisa. Yeah, Louisa, yes. You jumped in.
All right. Yeah, great. So, when I first heard this album, I remember, I am a lyrics person. And I remember writing to Debbie afterwards saying I thought this was a really important album, and she asked me why, and I think this song is one of them. And I know this song could be about so many different things, but for me, what I heard in this song was some very complicated emotions that connected to the Me Too movement, frankly. And so I thought that it was just a really incredible and passionate and compassionate take on a feeling of a woman that is kind of feeling like she's changing her mind, and it's her right to do so, and what that entails for her emotionally. So anyway, that's all I want to say about the lyrics.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So,
Yes, Julie.
quick question. Hey.
Hey, Julie.
You added so many parts after the tracks were laid down. And my question is for like with Amazing, Donnie McCaslin, for example, would there be any difference in how you would have sung it or done it if you had, like, let's take the sax, with you on the day? Or was there always room? Is there always room for all these parts as counter melodies or just thickening of textures? Because I'm struggling with this issue, like how many people to put in a studio, and is it, obviously you can always do overdubs, but I just wondered if you would do it any differently if some of those had been with you that, when the original tracks were laid down.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
The tracks were all done to her. The vocals were there, so every other part that was added in reaction to what was already established. And always we had like way too much stuff going on. So it was really, even though they were reacting, every other person was reacting very intuitively. And, we had to then go in and pull a lot of things away to give the vocals proper space. They still own the same space, but then they've got these nice little reactions and interactions with other instruments. That's, yeah.
I always had to say one thing, Julie. That's a great question. I think when I went into the studio, I really didn't know what these songs, we did 12 songs, piano trio. And I just wasn't sure what this body of work was, or at that time. Like, I didn't have a vision. I think on my previous 2 albums, I have saxophone, I have Joshua Redman. Like, I want that. Like, I want that instrumentation. So I knew eventually I would have it, but I think I was sort of starting like, okay, let's, with the bare bone of the song.
Bones, the structure.
Right.
And you built this beautiful.
Everything happens totally in reaction to the mood that Debbie lays out,
Yeah.
And then as we kind of followed what the music, like, you add guitar or something, and then the music is telling you add something else, and then we add something else, and the music is telling you add something else, So we followed, wouldn't you say, Debbie? Like, we were kind of like following our nose that way. It wasn't like, oh, let's just put sax, that would be hip. Let's put this, that would be hip. It was like, the music seems to be telling us this. Okay, and now it's telling us this. So it's all according,
Right.
And
there was one song, Walking in the Rain, on side 1 that, like, it was hard to crack the code, quote unquote. Like, Adrian would use that phrase, and it was true. Like, what does it need, and then he did crack the code, and he added a horn section. And it was that really worked with the song. But sometimes you're like, you try something, maybe not, and then you hit it. And so it's interesting, the experimentation. And I think that's the luxury too of it taking a few years to to make. No deadline until you have the deadline. And it's like,
The question raises a great point because sometimes people do the vocal last. Jeff Lynne said the whole thing was done and nobody even knew what the tune was except for him in his head. And would you have sung it differently if you had all the tracks in your headphones? But in giving these people the final vocal ahead of time, that's advantageous too for their inspiration.
Some of the tracks got vocals recut to them.
True.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it usually didn't end up like with a more like kick-ass or energetic vocal. It ended up with a more dynamic, intimate vocal.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
Now the music had so much color and shape and evocative imagery or whatever.
Right.
So it's like, can we get more subtlety from the vocal?
Right. Let's take another look at this one now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
There is no exact science to it though.
Yeah.
It's that music, it keeps telling you different things as you go, I think.
But I think like a live jazz recording too is a different animal, right? Like, because you do feed off of each other, you know, for sure. If you're singing standards or you get so much in the moment. And that's the whole point of it, really. Right. Yeah. On some level, like singing with a band and singing standards with a band.
Yeah. Although you end up redoing vocals a lot of times anyway. But if you at least initially get down, but then if you could do overdubs still, but like the issue is like if you might want a sax solo and you don't have the person there, then you have to have the piano leave the space. You have to do trumpet. So anyway, but thank you for answering my question so thoroughly.
Yeah. Well, on Waiting, I left, when we just did it, we vamped out at the end and extended it because I knew that I would want instruments over there because in my head, so at least I could had that forethought, you know, like, oh, I want this section to be an extended section. So at least I knew that.
Debbie wanted Stockhausen. That's what she wanted there. That's a joke. I'm joking.
Well, speaking of Stockhausen, okay, yeah.
No, that would have been cool.
Because that was a good segue into Label Love, which is the next one. So we shall move on. And I saw Dave Egger on the Zoom for like a second, and I don't know if he went away, if he's here or not. He was, yeah. I saw him for a second hop on. Well, Adrian got these two amazing human beings, string players, Dave Egger and Johnny Dinklage, to play on Label Love.
Label Love and two other
and Sweet Melody.
And Give Me a Chance.
So I invited them to the Zoom because there are 3 string songs on side 2. We put them all on side 2. I don't know if that was intentional, but anyway, this song, well, we're just gonna play it. I don't think it's happy either, but we're gonna go there. Okay.
That you think I may not know all the people you are, but I know what I'm feeling for you, a feeling I want to keep in a jar. Label love, baby, shining through. Label love, baby, love, the kind I have for you. I may not know all the things that you like, I may not know if you like things at all, but I know that I know what
Once again, a non-fade, but a fade that has certain things lingering. I love that.
That's the Adrian effect.
Mm-hmm.
The song is like driving. It feels like you're driving up the PCH, the coast of the PH, as the sun's
Mm-hmm.
down. Somebody's watching football.
Oh, can you hear that?
Um,
That's Julian. Yeah. Oh, David McDonald. Unmute
Okay, well,
yourself.
I have to say that for me, if I'm trying to compile music for a musical, and some songs are just more naturally catchy the first time you hear them. Sometimes you have to listen to them 5 times before you get the sense of the song. Now, do you know that when you're writing a song? It like I was always a big fan of the band The Jam with Paul Weller, and he would write some spectacular songs and some duds. And I always wondered, like, doesn't a musician, just like any other artist, have a sort of internal editor? Like when you write something, do you know, okay, that's catchier than blah, blah, blah? Because this one's pretty catchy. You know what I'm saying? Or do you feel like it's a sad song anyway?
No, I love the energy of it, but I really never know when I write what's catchy or what's not. Like I'm so completely, I have no clue. I have to like hand it on a platter and is this, you know.
So you don't have your own favorites of your oeuvre, what you've done?
oeuvre.
Maybe I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And if a producer like Adrian says to you, Debbie, that's a great song, or that's a terrible song. If he says it's a great song, are you going to go, well, did my other songs stink? Right? So I'm guessing it's a lose-lose for the producer. Do you have to keep your mouth shut about how you feel?
We don't, it's not like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 12 songs and we worked with them all. Like I didn't eliminate anything.
The palette was really wide. Like, you know, if a song is like if a song is catchy, then it's a catchy song. If a song is beautiful but not so catchy, then it's a beautiful piece of work. You know, if the song just doesn't strike a mood or doesn't feel strong as music or catchy or whatever, then we might speak on it. Like, right? Like, you know, oh, this could be a little better this way, or maybe this needs to be adjusted or changed or made slower, or maybe a hook needs to. But I personally don't think of things in terms of bad or good or bad.
Right.
Especially well with Debbie, because it's always going to have something, you know, it's always going to be soulful and honest and like, I don't know what it is. Somehow with Debbie, you know, it's like her bad is, you know, still cool, you know. It's just a matter of making it stronger, maybe. I don't know what Debbie would say on that. But.
Yeah, I had my doubts on a couple of these songs, like, is this okay? You know, and then they came alive somehow. So I pleased.
I might have thought this was a single at first. There's a hook in the piano lick itself that I thought was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm already.
Well, and the groove too. You know, it's more up tempo. It's like that alone, you get people with that groove. You know, and then that piano riff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a hook, or that's hook. You know.
Well, then I should get it on the radio or something. I mean, I haven't picked anything like, oh, this is the one on this thing. There's like, I haven't gone in that direction. Like, well, this one is this and that one.
Yes, this should be on the radio, Debbie. This one should be on the radio.
Okay.
Did you do a second single? I don't remember.
There is no second single.
No. Okay, Julia, you did say that a long time ago. You know, I should be heeding you. Yeah, okay.
I think
it's good to know.
I think another reason why the palette we gave ourselves is really wide is because Debbie also, the jazz is always the elephant in the room, even though there's a singer-songwriter thing happening. Jazz is the elephant in the room, so that there's that thing. Not in really in not quite in a pop realm. So I don't know if that makes sense.
I have a question, Debbie.
Yes.
Is classical at all the elephant in the room? Because I mean, that's your background. Is it sitting there behind the jazz elephants or poking it now and then? Like,
Someone asked that last time, I think.
it was
I think
me,
it was
but I'm curious
Melanie.
again.
You know, Melody, I really, you know, classical gave me like the fingers, and I'm so grateful for that. I think though, like when I 35 years ago when I went to Berkeley, I
This is
think
too
I
weird.
It's not you.
oh I'm
They
hearing-
sound like, you know, they're just great. They're just too.
I'm
I mean,
muting.
it sounds very jazzy to me. I love the jazz
Yeah.
undertones to the singer-songwriter. That's how
Yeah.
that's what
Because
I take.
I studied jazz piano, and I like would practice, like when I went to Berkeley, it was like, okay, I'm going to practice like, you know, 5 hours a day jazz, because like I didn't know what a G7 chord was when they put the G7 in front of me. 'cause I
Nobody
knew-
does.
Right. So I was like, I got to do this, you know? So I feel like I'm grateful for classical to give me like the fingers and know how to do things. And I love classical music, but I think with writing, I don't know. I'm not sure. Just I lay my hands, whatever happens, honestly. It's a good
Do you
question.
feel this album is a good legacy for you? Like, if you never recorded another album, if this was what you're remembered for, it's such a strong album. Like, do you feel that do you feel like this is a good legacy for you? I mean, I do. But
Great. I'm so glad you do. Yeah, no, I love this album. I'm so grateful for it. And, you know, the next one might be in 14 years, like the one before it. So I don't know when the next one is. So I'm just going to live with this one as long as I can, because it's very hard to do this. I mean, it takes a lot of work, a lot of energy. I mean, I admire people that can get this kind of thing done in a prolific way. It's just very, I find this is,
Pretty emotional making an album.
yeah, I don't know when the next one's going to be. So I'm very proud of this one. And you're here listening to it with us. And I really am grateful for that. I want people to hear it. And I love that you're hearing it. Thank you.
You are the disciples we are sending out. Spread the word.
Spread the word. Yeah, like I would love, you know, music supervisors. I would love to get this in. I feel like it's soundtracky, you know. I feel like there's some things that could go with that. I would love that. It would be like heaven to me.
It's very filmic. It's very visual and filmic, I think, in spots. Like,
I would love that. I mean, that's like, you know, that's my dream.
yeah.
Set up some gigs this summer in LA, guys.
Haha. There
What's
you
that?
go.
What she just say?
Julia
Set up
Shelf.
some gigs this summer in LA.
Okay.
I
Well-
don't know how to do that. You guys know how to do it.
Awesome. We'll figure that out.
Can't see
That's a-
Julia.
Oh, look, there's Jen Burton.
I was going to say, I think it is very filmic, and I am racking my brain for a project that we have, but I think it's very beautiful, and I totally can see it with movies. So
Oh, cool.
I will.
Well, I'm gonna, you know, that's my next, you know, I need to be proactive in that direction. So
Absolutely.
I need to do something so this is, I think tonight is the start of putting it out into the universe.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen. It's wonderful.
Thank you. I'm thrilled you're here. Yee-hee. All right, well, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We don't want to keep you here too much longer. This is forbidden.
I see myself standing there at your door. The rain is pouring down and my heart's on the floor. You know I'm so close to you, just a half mile away. But this is my lost dream that I can't wake away. I know you are forbidden to me. I know what bleeding, my heart is a bleeding. And my brain won't stop reeling, my brain won't stop reeling.
Yay.
No one said anything about that song since it's been released. It's interesting. Like no one's Julian. It's just interesting to me. No one said, no one's made any comment about it.
They feel their feedback is forbidden to them.
I get chills. I get chills on that song.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That song before we added guitars to it. I remember having the basics of the song and listening to it over and over and over and over again because the vocal was so powerful and the band was so inspired, and I couldn't make any decisions about it except just vibing off of it, listening. And then when we put Chris's guitar, then that added to another 4 or 5 days of me listening to it over and over and over and over. And because it was just transportive somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Chris Bruce on guitar, and he's otherworldly.
Yeah, it's a sorcerer. I call him a sorcerer.
Yeah.
How do you decide what instrument to put first after the vocals? I'm curious.
Well, we did piano, bass, drums at the same time, and
Yeah.
then we added on. Sorry.
We had a guitar. And then later organ, which was very much kind of shadowing everything. So,
But is that true for all the songs? You work that way?
Yeah.
With the instruments, the pace, the timing of the instruments when you put them in, when you coordinate with the vocals. How do you decide that?
every song had piano, bass, and drums as well. As
Everything was.
it all had
everything,
that from the start. And usually we would add guitar or something, you know. But like I said earlier, this song kept screaming organ after the guitar was there, so then we added organ, but organ is still very much blended in.
Right.
I guess
but
it's
it's all about what the song keeps telling you. If it
Exactly.
keeps telling you to add something, you know.
right. What do I hear in my head? What occurs to me? You pursue that. You go nah, or hey, I like that idea.
You only add something if it keeps screaming for something to be added. If the song keeps with each listen keeps screaming like a cornet part or something, then
Do you sometimes change though? Put it in and then take it out?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. We usually add too much, then we pull things away, you know.
Right.
Kevin Killen said that Burt Bacharach was doing that to his own arrangement, working with Elvis Costello, taking these woodwinds and stuff and just pulling things away and going, I wanted to distill it to the original arrangement I heard in my head, which takes some real conviction to go like, he even wrote the stuff and goes, no, don't need that. You can't think, oh, we paid for them.
Yeah, because the music still is still the God that you have to pray to is the actual song itself, But you got to be totally fearless but also ready to switch on a dime and get rid of that thing you just did, or keep it, or do less of it. Or
The nice thing about not being a band is that you don't have that obligation. Well, the horns wrote a horn part. I guess it's got horns on it too.
Where's Tom's horns gonna go?
Yeah.
The song doesn't actually say. The song doesn't suggest horns.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to Give Me a Chance. So I'm looking at the time.
I just want to say hi to everyone.
Oh, Chris.
I'm just here for a second.
Oh, yay.
You just listened to your performance.
Yes, I got Debbie's text. Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing to hear your beautiful guitar.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be a part of it. Yeah, it's a beautiful record.
And Chris was an example of, we did it remotely. Chris did his guitar during COVID and he added it on. So we actually have never met in person.
Right.
It's that's COVID. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yay.
Great.
Well, can you stay for the next song? Give Me a Chance. Can you hear it?
I wish I could, but I got to run. But I just want to jump for a second. Yeah.
Woo, musician sighting.
Yeah. Good to see you all.
Thank you so much.
Hey, man. Right. Great to see you. Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Cool. Hey. All right. Best.
All right.
You too.
All right.
Chris in stereo.
Yay, a musician popped on. I thought the string players were coming. One of them I saw. All right. Here we go. Thank you guys. We have 2 more songs.
Did Chris get his wave? Christopher? You see him in the corner?
Christopher Thomas, the bass player?
Yes.
Was he here?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't see him.
He was right next to Chris. I was like, hey, wait, which Chris are we saying hi to?
There's Chris Thomas.
Oh, there's Christopher Thomas, the bass player. The bass player on the record on every song is here. Christopher Thomas. Thrilled.
I just wanted to jump in. I'm sorry I missed it.
No, we have 2 more songs.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to play it right now. Without further ado, Give Me a Chance.
You took my love and you turned it round. You took my world and my heart and you turned it upside down. You took my mind and you spun it round. The simple words in my heart struggle to find their ground. Ooh, give me a chance. All I need is some time and a helping hand. Ooh, give me a chance. Can you wait patiently while holding my hand? The apple falls far from the tree, looking for what it wants, what it needs genuinely. The looking glass shows misery. The serpent slithers along as he laughs at his work with glee. Ooh, give me a chance. All I need is some time and a helping hand. Ooh.
Yay.
Debbie, I have a question about this song. I love this song a lot. There's a lot of instrumental solos, so I'm curious, like as a songwriter, did you just give them some chords and let them do their thing, or did you give them like specific guidance? I'm so curious.
Yeah, I knew when we tracked it that there would be a vamp section there. When I wrote the song, I wrote it that way, and it's basically 2 chords to jam on.
Okay.
And because I performed the song a few times, and I just opened it up as an instrumental jam session because I secretly just want to be a jam band.
Doesn't.
So that's the jam band moment on the album, and I didn't know what would be there.
Nice.
And Adrian came once again, and we got Adrian. Well, you could take over if you want, but that's me soloing with Marvin Sewell on guitar.
Ooh.
But Adrian.
Yeah, right. In that section, it initially was just a 2-chord vamp, right? And Debbie was starting to take kind of taking a solo from the original basics. And I just said, let's have you play Wurlitzer, electric piano, and then have Marvin play electric guitar, but in a really like Freddie King kind of spacious way, like like so that it's almost like a conversation between the whirly and this like really BB King, Freddie King kind of guitar.
Nice.
And then we put strings underneath it, which made it almost like a BB King early 70s album where they would put strings under it, and yeah, just made it into a real kind of musical moment, but it's a conversation happening there, definitely between them.
Now, are those real strings or synthesized strings?
Oh, those are real strings.
And what were they?
They were David Egger on cello and Jonathan Dinklage on violin and viola. So they made a section, between 2 guys. But like I arranged those strings and then sent it to them, and then they made sense of my arrangement. And
yeah, I just want to reiterate how beautiful the sound is on the whole record, and there's not a dud song. They're all beautiful, Deb. It's all gorgeous.
Thank you, David.
I think we all feel that way.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I think it's I love the fact that the blues is in that song, because to me Debbie is linked to the blues somehow. The way you sing, it's like there's something that always super bluesy and truthful and dead honest that is like your own version of the blues. Yeah. So
Thank you, Adrian.
Yeah,
I did want to reiterate that section, Melanie, was a big question mark for a while.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's like, what are we going to do there? And then Adrian created the landscape.
So once the landscape was created, this is did you take several very different takes of that and then just pick the one you like best, or was this sort of, this is what you wanted and this is what you did?
Adrian.
We had, that song was at that section of that song, there was definitely room for a big failure to go down. And so we had to really talk about it, and we had to really kind of think tank it. And then Marvin, he put a lot of guitars down, but he did that remotely. That was the one guitar track he did remotely. Everything else was with us in the room. And but he sent me a lot of things, so I had to sift through them. And then when Debbie and I were together, we did electric piano, and I had created space in his guitar playing that would leave room for her to do her thing. And we did a bunch of takes and trying to get the exact right kind of funky, nasty, bluesy, but sophisticated. That song was tough, but it was tough in a good way. It was like a good challenge, to get that song to come off the right way. Or at least that section especially.
Nice.
But
yeah.
we were tenacious, so.
Yeah.
No, it's like by hook or crook, we're gonna do this.
Well, that's a good seg into our last song.
Yeah.
So there, what's that, Rich?
This person that
Oh, I thought someone said something. Okay. I just have to say, listen for the strings on this last one as well. Okay? And someone, whoever wants to mute themselves would be awesome. I hear like, I'm not sure. I'm going to mute myself during this song. So, okay, this is the last one, Sweet Melody.
Sitting on top of the world, got a friend who understands me. Oh, living in this reality. We could have given it a try, but things can go awry. Oh, and everything gets in the way. It's supposed to be a sweet melody between you and me. Let the feelings get in the way, but all we want to do is play, just play. Play the guitar and play the piano and play those keyboards too. Let's have fun. I love your smile. I love your style too. You fly me freedom song. You inspire, you give me hope to see. You fly me
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for coming, for listening. There's a lot to say about that one, but I think we should just wrap it up. Thank you, Jimmy Nasher, for coming.
Well done.
Thank you so much for being here for listening this whole
dug it.
time. Yay. It means so much to me. Thank you.
I
have to say that
I have to say something. I loved the Beatle references. Adrian, were you playing drums on that? There was
no, that's Brian Blade.
Okay, but there was sort of the cellos were doing something almost sounding like backwards guitars or almost Beatle-y.
Oh, there's backwards guitars. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cellos, the Indian classical swooping string thing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Very beautiful production again and beautiful song.
Thank you.
I must say, Debbie and Adrian, outstanding, outstanding. Really, I mean, to hear the outcome seems like millenniums from when produced. Is it's astonishing. It was there. It was already there, and it's in its trio form, but it's in its raw, that thing, it was there, but it's still, it's amazing what when you step back and then you get decipher through all that stuff and see the beauty of it. It's beautiful. But outstanding work, Adrian and Debbie and Rich, everyone for diving in and picking out the gold.
Well, we were listening. Yeah.
Debbie, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was just going to say for 2 years, I was listening to Christopher Thomas's bass and Brian Blade's drums,
Yes.
like by myself in Greenwood Cemetery walking. So I was like living with you guys, in my head for 2 years, but like we kind of, because it was 2018. Is it 2022 now? So it was just interesting to like have you guys in my head, but you guys were off doing your own thing. And then I was like, oh, guess what? We're working on the recording, So it's been an honor.
I know I look back at it because it's for me, you listening to it, and then I hear it for the first time like years later. It's like
right.
Like who's on that record? Who plays bass on that record? It's that's great. It's fresh. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, and it's amazing. Great job.
When are you going to play the material live next?
That's a really good question. I'm sort of in talks with like the Bitter End and then the Riverside Park concert series. I'm in touch with them. So I'm going to get in touch with my ladies to know which Saturday night during the summer we should play up in Riverside Park. Elizabeth, you let me know because I just was in touch with the guy. And then like there's a new venue called the Atlantic Brooklyn in Brooklyn. But yeah, it's just sort of, with Omicron, I just didn't want to play out, but now it's time. So I don't have anything definitely on the books, David McDonald, but I would love to play other places, I'll get outside of New York City, but it's just overwhelming. It's like, a lot of work to think about it. But I think Elizabeth's like June in Riverside Park. Okay, we're going to kick off Riverside Park. So if you're on the Upper West Side, they have these concert series every Saturday night on Riverside Park in 100th Street or so. And there's this wonderful concert series, and we've been doing it every year. So we're going to do it. But yeah, if there's any venue in your that you want us to come to, you let me know. Upstate, I don't know.
It's the Falcon.
Yeah.
When are you going to come to Omaha?
Mr. Jim Frock, you know what? You let me know where I should play. And if you do that little homework for me, that would be helpful. I've never been to Omaha, so I'd love to go.
It's a great place if you like snow.
Love snow. Love it.
We should play in St. Louis with Chris.
St. Louis. Look, we're going to do that. We're going to cross the United States on this Zoom call. We're going to make it happen. Let's do it.
I'll set it up.
Oh, I love that.
Definitely.
Yeah. That would be amazing. Because when I think about it, I just want to go, Oh, that's not to be too honest.
That's why booking agent. That's why you have booking agents.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you all. So yeah, get the wheels churning about coming to play right near where you are, all of you. I love it. Alicia Sams, Midwest tour. Woo, girlfriends.
St. Louis, Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison,
And Omaha.
Omaha.
And Omaha. That'd be amazing. And Julie Max in DC.
DC.
We got to go down to DC. I played at the Blues Alley there.
You played there?
I played there. Yeah, that was with Grove. When Grove House, my last album in 2007 was released, we went down to DC. It was really fun. Love that. DC waits. I love it. So yeah. So we're getting, my son's in 8th grade and we're on the high school. We're like going crazy, you know, with all the high school stuff. So, you know, there's other things going on. But yeah, it takes a lot to sort of get all this together. But with your help, it'll happen. And I really am so grateful that you were here, all of you.
Thanks for doing it, Deb.
Yay.
It's a cool idea.
It's a beautiful accomplishment.
Oh,
Amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
big
you so much.
congratulations.
Thank you, Robin, for being here for both sides.
Thanks, guys.
Yay. Love you all. I would
Great.
love to just give you hugs.
Great album.
Thank you, Steve. Woo!
It's a good album.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can't wait to hear you play.
Oh, well, I'm playing the first
Of
March.
May. I know.
I'm in May. Don't let me get my months mixed up.
We're coming, Steve, to hear you.
Yeah, okay. It's a great show.
Can't wait.
Thank you,
Everybody
Nick.
loves Bob. Bass
Hi,
is
Debbie.
good, man.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Nice bass work, man. Respect.
Thank you, Louisa.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, and very, very good. And engineer, I don't know what you did with them kicks on the last song, but whatever filtering you was doing, man, it's great. So audible.
Did I mix it? Did you mix it, Rich? I can't remember.
Which one?
Sweet Melody. No, you mixed that one.
That's you.
Kicks on the last song.
Oh, that's true. That's got that.
So
Yeah.
audible and not really hurting, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Because he was playing like a fast pattern and the velocity you was giving that mix was so good.
We tried to get the fire.
Yeah. Just popping in there, you know? Yeah.
I think we did hand claps. Debbie and I did hand claps.
That's true.
Because the kicks, you know, the velocity on those kicks were really audible, you know, you could hear them. I know how you felt about them, Basie.
Well, you gotta have the bottom. You have to have the bottom that has to hit you.
Yeah, exactly.
Priority, you know, like it's gotta have the ass. Like a turn. You know, otherwise it's not relevant, you know. Whatever.
And you know, Adrian's a drummer, so he's coming from that place. You gotta have the ass. Yeah, he's coming from that place.
He totally understands, right?
Totally.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I want to be able to close my eyes and see the drummer. You know, see them. You know, like their sound is so alive. You know, and it should be that way for every instrument. You just close your eyes, you can see Chris. You know, like what he's feeling in that moment. You can see it. You know. I always feel like when you listen to the meters or something, you can hear it's like, you fucking owe me $5. I'm gonna right after this take. As soon as this take is done, you can hear the conflict, you know.
Great.
And whatever is happening that day, you know.
Respect, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I enjoy it. It's great. I enjoy this, you know.
Yeah. No, it's. We could
Thank
go
you
for
for
an hour.
your thank you for your presence. It adds so much.
I mean, it's music. I cannot get around it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no avoiding.
No,
They don't get it. It's like I can't put it down. Why?
Yeah, when it hits you, feel no pain, right?
Exactly. There you go.
That's what Bob said. You know, it hits you, feel no pain. So
that's right.
Keep on hitting us with this special music you got.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I just felt like, living with Christopher and Brian's parts, was really sustained me throughout COVID, honestly. Like those rhythm parts, actually, because Melanie asked me earlier in the call, like what I listen to when I hear the music. And I realized I should really, what I am really feeling and is just the rhythm section, just like so propelling my insides.
This is why great players love Debbie, because the second you put something on that has a groove, she just cannot stop.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, she gets it,
She's not supposed to stop, It's all about
like,
that move's got to be there,
Yeah. It's like she knows what's up. She knows, and so then that becomes a magnet, It's like it's like your songs and your lyrics, but then when you have that kind of feeling and rhythm, love for rhythm about you, then players, they want to be around that too. I hope I'm not speaking for you, Debbie. But
oh my God, I love her. Thank you for saying that. I'm honored that you said that.
Her publicist.
No, it's it moves me. So thank you.
Yeah. No, those rhythm parts that were Brian and Chris, they're just so passionate and open and alive. They suggest everything, and the piano. So it's like, and they were tracked together, so they have so much energy and fire.
And interaction and listening to the voice and
yeah, sensitive like crazy, and yeah.
And they just heard the songs the night before the recording.
Yeah.
I played the little recorder. Here's what you did. Thanks, Rich. Okay, yeah, thanks. Let's do it.
And that's the brilliance of Christopher and Brian, and that's why
No, I mean that's beautiful. It's a gift that you gave us. It's a gift you gave us after after all the listening to it now. It's like that. That was just like roadmaps. It was like it was kind of like oh, we're finally doing it.
Yeah.
We're connecting.
It's hard to schedule people.
Not thinking anything more than that.
Right.
Just that instant. We're connecting. Not all this other stuff.
Right.
All the other stuff that's I can't even put words to it. It's amazing.
It's foundation,
Yeah. That's the connection part was the joy. That was the momentum. It was.
You can hear the joy. You can hear the joy.
Oh wow. Yeah, we're adding all these beautiful tapestries.
You can hear the joy in those parts, and it's almost like that's the best way to do it, like just give them the stuff the night before and then like have it be really honest and truthful and in the moment right there.
Right. Yeah.
Like not beat it into the ground. It would it would sound totally different if it was like we rehearsed this thing 30 times.
I mean it was helping. It was good. It was we've been doing a lot of studio recently too, so it was I guess we were in that whole like, okay, we're gonna make parts, we're gonna put the blueprint down so you can just take it to the to wherever, but organically, it was it was right. It was like right time. It was the right timing feeling. That's what we were like, oh yeah. Yay for us.
But Rich, we had to pick through a lot of, Rich, I gotta give Rich Lamb the credit because we went through the takes and
I'm sure.
like picking the takes and took a while, right?
So then were you comping between takes and they were like, did you?
Probably not, because with
No.
tempo discrepancies, with no tempo,
No
there were some things maybe like,
yeah.
and then of course we decided, then we do the piano overdubs and we comped those, but that was always done to a take, so that was easier. And then we said, that's a good original piano. Listen to that and just let it be.
Yeah.
I did redo a lot of piano. Yeah.
Right. And then even did guide vocals for the piano session.
Right.
And then did the piano again, then did the vocals for real. But Adrian's right. I mean, to be right there seconds after you got the song under your belt, there's not enough time to go with anything but your gut instincts on what to play, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
In a sense, it went as well as a session that people had rehearsed for 2 weeks could have. You know what I mean? It didn't take longer. It just each one came together pretty fast.
It's like a bit of an illusion when people say, that it has to be so prepared or whatever. Like, it's when people are just the sound of people discovering something is like completely a whole other sound, and then that level of excitement is like you can't duplicate that, 20 minutes later. 14.
Right. And it was over 2 days, but the sessions weren't all day, so they probably went about as fast as they usually expect, which to me is like an hour a song.
Yeah.
Elton John writes them in the studio, so we were more prepared than that. He at least gave them charts.
Yeah. This album actually has affected the way I've been doing some other stuff, because I remember like you guys didn't do it to a click. And so like my producer rules are like, oh, they didn't do a click. So that means you can't copy paste things and move them around, but like I fell in love with the record more and more as we went. And it was by the end, it was like, I wouldn't do any of this to a click. Like this is real feeling, like
it's more natural off the grid.
Yeah. And now it's like I'm obsessed with doing things without a click.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like no, our groove is the fucking click. Our groove is the truth. That's not the truth. This is the truth. But you have to be really confident, in your feel, I think. But I'm and I have engineers that I work with now that help me edit stuff, that have shown me different ways to edit things without a click, so you can keep that integrity.
Right.
Of the natural organic take that went down like that,
I've been wondering if anyone's invented a click that follows the drummer, but still resists a little bit. Like, all right, I'll tug behind, I'll show him where it is, but I won't make him have to slow down loud or let the click catch up with him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's because the groove happens in that push and pull. That's where the groove is, or the tension, rather than like a machine-like thing could potentially give you no groove at all. You could be like, sounds great, but you're not like, you don't hear it and like it's stank face or whatever,
Stank face.
Yeah. I did a 6-horn project. Dan Pugach, the drummer leader, decided for the second session he didn't want the click. He heard the moments where everyone wanted to move forward and the click pushed them back.
Yeah.
And it worked out fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, also Christopher and Brian, like they're telepathic with their like playing 25, 30, 80 years together. I don't know how.
Yeah, no.
And so like that right, all like they're both like no click. Yeah, I mean it's just so interesting, like
because that's a pre-existing feel. It is its own living thing, it's
right. Yeah.
We'll speak for you, Chris. It's like a living organism, you know?
It didn't hurt. That's what I'm saying. We had recently been playing too. So it's like,
yeah,
even ideas, whatever we may have been connecting with, they're fresh.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You just came up.
Call and response was quicker than normal.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Call response was quicker than normal. So it was like, oh, new music, same call response.
Yeah.
Same, but different idea, different conversation, but same, like,
yeah.
We're at the same party. We're in the same party. you know, we arrived at the party together. We didn't come separately.
Like when I have a bass player that I have chemistry with, you never have to talk about anything. Like if you play something slightly on top, they automatically go slightly behind you to round out the beat. If you play a little back, they understand what you mean by that, and they like play a little they round out the front of the beat. And it's like, no, I get you. No, okay, that's cool. All right, no problem. You know, and that's true chemistry. And so when you have that, you don't want to stiffen that up with a click. You want to document that because that's a one-off type situation. I'm starting to really feel convicted about that, you know. No, it's just you want to protect it, you know. So it's like what you guys, you don't have to talk about it. That's a rhythm section that has existed. You played so many things, so you want to protect it at all costs, you know.
Oh yeah.